I'm currently in the process of routing all of my cabling through for the light, the taps, auxiliary, USB, pretty much everything. I've bought a 6 switch panel with a voltmeter on as well. So I'm going to be mounting that pretty much round about here. I'll be cutting a hole into the ply when the ply is ready to go. So I have to get all the cabling in place before I put the ply sheet back on. So I'm getting all the cables run and routed right now. So I've actually drilled a little hole there out with the support because the ply panel sits just above where you can see those screw holes. So with the cabling coming out of there, with the panel being there, you shouldn't be able to see any sort of cabling at all. I'm running the cable through here at the moment, along down behind the seatbelt pillar post, down, and again I've drilled another hole in the side there, and that's where the power cables are coming out. Top tip for when you are trying to run any cabling around any awkward corners or anything: if you do manage to get one cable in, use that as then a guide cable. So this cable here is actually a loop. I've just taped it together with loads of tape, and then I just attach the next cable onto it, again with more tape. Just feed it through from the top, pulling down at the bottom, and that's how you can just feed cable after cable around awkward bends, corners or runs going along the full length. So as I say, just get one cable in. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you manage to get that first cable in. Make sure you've got the join that's secure, otherwise it defeats the purpose. But then after that you can just attach every single cable through to it. I've already pulled 2 through there, and I was doing this, getting all the cables up and around for that bend, for getting those out as well. So cabling wise, I've ran everything as concealed as possible. I've run all of the light cabling along inside here. That's a USB and auxiliary cable. That's lighting. Lighting then goes along up behind where the side panels are going to be, behind into this void here. That's another light cable, goes back in again, along again down behind there, and that's the final light cable for this side. Other cabling has been run again along in there. There's a little hole behind where the overhead storage locker is there, so I've got a couple of cables coming up and out there. That's for another light, so there's going to be a few spotlights either side of the overhead locker, and that's for radio, TV, anything like that that I'm going to use for entertainment. I've also got a couple of cables running down and along and out, and one of them's tucked in behind the foil lining there. That's going all the way along under the flooring of the cutout for the step. That's coming out, and it's coming out. It'll just show up there, but I've managed to run it up the side pillar, and that's coming out, and that's going to be for the taps. So all of the actual cabling itself's in place. I just need to run a few more power lines to go from the bottom up to the top for the panel, because everything I'm going to be running off a marine grade fused bus bar that will have both positive and negative on there, so every cable can be individually fused and then individually switched when it's up there as well. So you've got full control, and if anything's tripping out, it should only ever be tripping out one fuse and one appliance at a time, rather than blowing up loads of different things or having to spend lots of time fault finding. If say the TV goes off or the lights go off, just go straight to the light fuse, rip it out, and away you go. So I'm going to run a few more power lines to go from where I'm going to be mounting this on the side of the ply when the ply is mounted in as well. So I'm going to have a little hole just coming out of the ply, just for the cabling to mount straight to that. And as I say, all the power's then going up along out of here where the switch panel is going to be. Then I've got the other cabling going to the actual appliances, the lights, the USB, back in and along. So I'm going to run a few more power lines, start getting everything hooked up and wired up, and I can finally start to get this ply panel carpeting back. I seem to be darting about from job to job at the moment, rather than just starting one and finishing it, just because there's a lot of things that need to be doing before I can actually crack on with some of the bigger jobs, like fitting the fridge. I still need some of the cabling in place, still need to put the vents in place for that as well, but I have connected up the mains to it. I've run the electric wire going tucked right into where the insulation is, as you can see there. then into the panel, behind that gap, up along there, down that side, and again down the panel there. I'm going to drill another hole so the cable will drop behind the actual ply panel, because I'm going to have the electric hookup point coming out of where the fog light lens is. So the fridge is going to have a constant power over there just for whenever it's going to be on hookup. But electricity wise, I've just almost finished running all of the cabling around that I'm going to be needing. I've drilled a couple of new holes in places where there weren't any holes, so the cabling's still going to be able to sit behind the ply. If I left them coming out of the top holes like that, it would be visible, or when I carpet over them, you'd still be able to see a cable behind the carpet. Some terms there was already like a pre-drilled hole, don't know if you can see that in there, but I say that one's going to be for a light. Everything's labelled, so I know exactly what every single cable is going to be for. I've ran another USB and auxiliary charge point along there. That's going to be tucked behind the headliner once that's in place. It goes beneath the overhead locker, and again down into that channel along, and then it's spliced into where I have another one. I just need to run some electrical cable around a couple of joins in there that I've got, because there's a light one in there as well, there's another light one there. All of the lights are going to be running off one switch, but all lights are individually switched. So there's going to be a switch panel here with one main switch for lights, and then every other light around will be able to then be switched on and off independently. So at the moment I've got 12 volt and switch cables for the taps, for TV and radio and entertainment, for the heater, for the lights, for the auxiliary and USB. So the only thing I haven't got yet ran in is the solar cabling. I'm going to have to buy some slightly bigger amperage cable for that. All of this cable is dual core 11 amp, so it's got positive and negative inside, 11 amp on each cable, so there shouldn't be any issues with any of the power that I'm going to be running. I've labelled everything up so everything's pretty clear what all of the wires are for. Obviously if you have to take the panel off, you want to be sure that you know what cables are going to be going where when you're going to be reconnecting them. Everything's going to be going to this, everything from the lights, taps, the auxiliary USB. I'm going to be fitting a Propex heater. I'm even going to have the solar panels going onto this, just so because I'm going to have 160 watts of solar panel, and you won't necessarily want that charging your batteries constantly 24/7. So that's just going to be able to turn it on and off, just so I can charge it when I want to, and leave it to drain just a little bit, ready for the next top up. And that will enable me to turn everything on and off. So I'm going to get this all connected up, fitted onto the panel, get the ply fitted, and give it a test. Right, so that is all the electrics pretty much all sorted in the van now. I've built myself a battery box down there with two 110 amp batteries in to give over 200 amp hours of power. I've got the solar controller mounted down there, so the batteries are constantly getting charged up from there as well. I've then ran a power from the positive there and the negative off that one across to my fuse panel, and on the fuse panel everything is individually fused, so if there were any issues with any appliances, it's only ever going to blow a fuse on that particular appliance rather than the entire circuit or anything. So there's 5 different inputs in there for the 5 different things that I've got all switched off. The only thing that isn't in there is the solar panel, because that's going through an inline fuse as it is. So all the lights, the taps, the auxiliary, the heater and the miscellaneous for the battery voltage meter, TV, stuff like that, all of those are running into the fuse panel in there, and then up the pillar behind all the metalwork there, and off into the appliances where they're needed. So if I turn the lights on, the spotlights should come on. As you can see, they're all coming on fine, and also I've got individual spotlights that come on individual switches as well. So they're all working okay off that switch. I've got auxiliary turned on there, and as you can see, that is now charging my phone nicely. So I've got an auxiliary input there, and I've got another one over there as well. And as you can see, there's the light on there for that USB as well, so that's showing that that's getting the power fine. The heater, that's working, so if that's already turned on there, so if I turn that on, you can hear the heater there, so that's working fine as well. Miscellaneous is working fine because that's got the battery voltage meter connected to it. The only thing I can't really test is the taps. because I haven't got the tap in place for the sink unit. But again, that's on its own individual wire going all the way along and round to the unit, so there's no reason why that shouldn't work as well. Right, I just thought I'd stop that video there because I've actually now got the tap wired in, so it's turned off at the moment. So to try and turn it on, nothing at all. Turn it on at the master panel, and again, because it's micro switched, it'll still only come on when you want it to, but now there's just no water connected underneath, that's all, but you can hear the pump whirring away there. That's the pump. You can see that's working fine as well, so that's everything tested, working, and spot on. So in effect, that is all of my electrics completely wired in, tested, working, and ready to go. So by all means, have a look at my channel to see how I've completed the rest of the conversion of this van so far. I'm uploading videos to it all the time just to help other people who might be about to undertake similar sort of jobs as well. So if you're unsure about any wiring or carpeting or anything like that, just have a look at my channel, and there'll be videos on there to help you out. I hope you found this video useful, and feel free to do the usual YouTube stuff of like, share, comment and all the other stuff. Thanks for watching. Cheers.